what's up? This is Eric, host of the Change Talk podcast here at CSP Corcoran, and I just want to welcome you guys today. Today we're right here on the day room floor with Michael Markhasev. He's who I'm interviewing today, and so I'd like him to introduce himself and tell you a little bit about how he and me met and began this path of rehabilitation together. What's up, Mike? How you doing today?
Oh, I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be here with you. I'm blessed to be here in Corcoran. It's a gift, and thank you for having me. And just so you guys know, Corcoran is the lowest place in the Central Valley. It sits about 200 feet above the sea level. For both Eric and I, this has been both the lowest and the highest place of our life. We both traveled from two different trajectories as we came here. This is a factory of failure that we are trying to turn into the place of our success, with God's grace. And we both came through the shoe here. We both came from the lowest points in our lives by the way we hurt others, we hurt our families and our victims. And we met here during 2020 during COVID, where what we had in common was the fact that we shared the same lockdown, we shared the same problems. We were stripped of all opportunities to program, to rehabilitate ourselves together in church and support services. And we did our best with what we had, namely with God, with ourselves and our struggles, to form a support network that worked from inside out. And let me tell you what I mean by that. The way things work out there is rehabilitation is supposed to seep into the prison. There are people, there are plans, there's money, there's incentives that come in here and try to change us. When we were stripped of that, we began the process in the reverse trajectory. All we had was ourselves. We were willing to make the changes that were difficult, that were painful, but that had to be made. It was part of the amends that we owed, both to God, to ourselves, to our families, and to our victims. And our families are victims, as I said earlier. And so what we began with community building on the ground level, without any help or any money pouring in or even incentives to program. We began to forge a community around the common core of values. 3 years later, long after COVID has dissipated and lockdowns are over, we're continuing that same community. We each have our own colleagues here within the business system. Eric's working on Change Talk. I am part of the literacy mentorship program, which is a direct way of my living amends. I murdered a teacher on my way to prison. He was an innocent man. I did not care anything about him. But today I'm a teacher. I'm helping others to earn their GEDs and accomplish their educational goals. They're trying to make their way out of prison. In fact, I was with a student right now, Eric Hall. The work never ceases. Eric's an OMCP mentor, which is she's a drug and alcohol counselor, helping men in their sobriety. I'm also working in steps. I'm part of the same program. And so this is what we share. We share our love for God, our faithfulness to Jesus Christ, our accountability to one another, to the man around us. That whereas in our former lives we were at home here in this factory of failure being used as instruments of destruction, that today it is our hope to become instruments of instruction as we give what we ourselves have received from others, your support, your encouragement, and we try to build up our community from within the prison so that then what we have gained here we can take outside and make a difference out there. We're not asking for handouts. We're not asking for the world to revolve around us or painting ourselves as victims or as those entitled to help just because we're in prison. No. What we are entitled to is to show that we're serious about our redemption, about our recovery, rehabilitation, and that we will do our part in seeking for an opportunity to make these changes, not just within the prison, but we are forced through the evil happenstance of our crime, but also to the outside society, to which we're essentially indebted for the rest of our lives through the work that we are doing. So that's what's going on in Corcoran. If you didn't know, now you know. And here's my brother Eric.
Yeah, thank you for that, Mike. Appreciate that. Appreciate you coming on here and talking to the viewers out there. So yeah, that's what's taking place inside Corcoran. Me and Mike met a couple years ago on a different yard under different circumstances. COVID-19 was going through. We're in the pandemic. Everything was locked down. Weren't able to program. Hardly were able to come out. I happened to be a couple cells down from Mike, and And so some of the people that I'm involved with that are instructors here for rehabilitation, some of the staff, some of the teachers, they said, hey, get with Markhasev, get with Mike, and he'll help you get things established on the yard. And sure enough, he did. Not only that, he turned out to be a brother in the faith. And so, especially in the time of crisis, we came together. Came together in prayer, came together in fellowship, and so it's been an awesome journey. Now we're over here on a level 2/level 1 yard, and who would have ever thought? He mentioned a little earlier that we started off in the shoe, and we've come a long way. Come a long way from basically being under the prison. That's where we were at one time, but thanks to God, doors open. We started to make changes in our life, and this is where it led to. And so these are the type of interviews that are going on here in Corcoran. These are the type of the men that you'll be seeing on the podcast, as long as others, too, that are part of rehabilitation. Some of the staff, some of the correctional officers, some people from outside that are involved with it. And it's a tremendous thing happening here. And I'm glad that we can bring it to you and you can be a part of it. And so we appreciate it. We thank you for the day. And we just want to say God bless you.